Tameside Radio, you are listening to Dave Sweetmore, and honoured and delighted now to say I'm joined by founding member and legendary Stranglers frontman, Hugh Cornwell. Hugh, how are you doing?
Good, nice one, Dave. I'm glad to hear from you.
Yeah, it's great to speak to you. I know you're busy at the moment, loads of stuff going on. You're about to start a tour next week. Let's go back to the beginning though. You formed the Stranglers in 1974, and the sound you were making, the music you were producing was quite pioneering really at the time. What were you lads listening to back then?
Well, I mean, obviously it was the glory days of Top of the Pops. So on the TV and on the radio, you got Sparks and Queen and Bowie, ABBA, blah blah blah, and then the top Motown stuff, and then that was what you were forced to listen to, and then by choice I'd be listening to what the stuff, my favourite music, like the Doors and Velvet Underground and Love and the Byrds, Jefferson Airplane, stuff like this, and the Kinks and Yardbirds, so it was a bit of a hodgepodge mixing bag, really.
You'd obviously been well into music from growing up, and when you formed the Stranglers in 1974, did you know that when you formed that band, you were onto something special, and 50 years on, you'd still be, all that music and what you did would still be influential? Did you know there was something special going on?
Not really. You should never, because I don't like counting my chickens before they're hatched, and the thing is you just got to put your nose down to the grindstone and work and work and work. In most cases, when you do that, you end up finally getting somewhere. So that was my philosophy, and I wasn't really thinking about what was going to happen down the line. I thought, well, my God, when I'm 50, I'm probably going to be on a Zimmer frame. I mean, that was really what was going through my mind. And as we know, the canvas has changed. Everything's completely different now, and my health has held up remarkably. So I can't believe I'm fortunate enough to still be healthy enough to play. I can't believe that my voice is still in good shape, even though I smoke a few fags each day. And I can't believe I've got the ideas for new songs still. It's just, I feel very fortunate, basically.
And we're very fortunate to still have you around and still influencing people. You mentioned about change there, Hugh. You left the band in 1990. Did you feel that when you left the Stranglers as an individual musician, your musical direction had changed at all when you went solo?
Well, for a few years, I didn't. I was so disorientated. My head was spinning, and I didn't really know. I wasn't really clear in my head who I was and what I should sound like. I mean, for 2 or 3 years, I didn't even play electric guitar. I just decided, no, I'm just going to be a singer. That's what I wanted in the first place. So I'll just write and be a singer, and I'll get other people to play guitar. And then I didn't. And then I finally picked up a guitar when someone asked me to do an acoustic show in Bristol. And I decided to do it, and I literally picked up an acoustic guitar, and I hadn't touched one for 2 or 3 years, and that was quite an interesting experience. And then I was due to do an album with a producer called Laurie Latham, who'd worked with the Stranglers, who I knew from those times. And he said, well, I'll only do it if you play guitar. And I thought, oh, my God. And, he gave me confidence to go back and play guitar again properly, as an electric guitar. And so it took me a while to pick up the pieces and make something that I could identify with, musically. So you're right. It was, when you're playing in a certain format, in a certain setup for so long, you get molded into something, and if you come out of that, you fall like jelly.
The one thing I've loved about the work, what you've done over the years, is you've continued to move forward and progress, but still kept that Hugh Cornwell sound that we all know and love. You recently released your 10th studio album, Moments of Madness. Tell us a little bit about that album.
Well, we all had the COVID situation and lockdown, and I ended up being in a situation where I was isolated where I had recording studio facilities and a lot of time on my hands and couldn't do anything and apart from create something. That's what you do when you've got time in your hand. So I started writing and recording, and I could do that with just one technician, my engineer Phil, who I've worked with for a long time. And so we just the two of us were working at this, and slowly over the period of that time, we ended up with Moments of Madness. So and luckily it's gone down very well. So actually it turned out very well for me. You know, I know a lot of people had some terrible experiences and losses during that time, but for me it was a creative regenesis. You know, it was great.
You talk about the way that recording and producing's changed over the years. Do you feel that your way of writing, the way of songwriting and putting the music down has changed?
Oh yeah, I've got more into. Now, when I was in the Stranglers, we'd rehearse all the songs that we were going to record to save time. Basically, it was we'd have everything ready and we'd go in and record it. So it was like recording by numbers. You know, first the drums would be done on a number, and then the bass would be put on. And it was like filling in one of those painting by numbers things. And it was a very boring process. Over the years, it's changed now. And because I don't have a time constriction anymore, you know, I go into the recording with a song not finished, deliberately only half finished, because you never know what's going to happen when you get in there and accidents happen and you suddenly go, oh, what was that? And I go to Phil, what was that? And he went, oh, sorry, I pushed the wrong button. I went, no, I like that. And so you can, if you don't tie everything down, you've got room to incorporate these little accidents. And some of those things turn out to be very, 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 very signature strokes, you know, of a song. So it has changed a lot, the recording process for me.
It's 50 years this year since you started the Stranglers. Do you find yourself that, you know, 50 years on, you, Hugh Cornwell, are still influencing so many people? Do you find yourself listening to new music at all?
Well, I wouldn't know where to start. That's the trouble, Dave. I mean, there's so much out there. I come to music, new music these days, primarily through the cinema. Things that I hear on films, you know, I go, oh, that sounds interesting. I'll find out what that is. Apart from that, I wouldn't know where to start. So I'm the worst person to ask about what's new out there and what's good and what's bad. I've got no idea.
The great thing is you are still influencing so many new bands and musicians. It's brilliant. Next week
I can't believe it.
Well, you are. Trust me, you are. Next week, you start a UK tour, takes you up and down the country. The nearest gig you've got to us is at the Drome in Holmfirth. You're playing there a week on Saturday the 20th. Have you played there before, Hugh?
I like that place. It's great. It's got a great history. They've done a good job on updating it, you know, for live music. Yeah, I've got a long history of playing there and played it a band with electric and also as an acoustic show as well. I remember doing it. And I've always had a good time there. It's a good part of the country.
It is. It's a great venue as well, so we can't wait to see you there. So the latest album, Moments of Madness, is out and available now. You are playing at Holmfirth Drome a week on Saturday the 20th of January. Any tickets that are left are available now through Hugh's website or the venue website. What happens going forward, Hugh? What's the future hold for Hugh Cornwell?
What does the future hold? Will he get out soon? Sounds like a song I wrote. Yeah, what does the future hold? Well, we're doing this tour with the Primitives, a very well-respected younger band, younger than me, playing on this tour. So we're doing that, and then going off to do some writing, and then in April we're out in the Netherlands. And then I think we're due to be going to the Far East in the summer. And then I'll probably start getting itchy to start writing some new songs, start recording some new stuff, I think.
I love the fact that we can expect some more new music for you. And obviously the passion is still there to make that music.
Yeah, hopefully. While it's still there, I will try.
Hugh, you don't need it, but best of luck with the tour. It's been a real pleasure and honour speaking to you, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon, yeah?
Oh, well, thanks, Dave. It's been a pleasure to chat with you.